Hello YouTube and welcome to Zen Joltis SuperSpeedway in New York for the 33rd race of the Reebok Truck Series season number 3 here in the NRSL, and it's race number 1 of the round of 8. And on the pole you kind of saw it there. Chaser Jay Stella in the Mopar Dodge will start on the pole. He'll start alongside William Duncan, who was looking for a good run, looking to try and finish 5th in the points here this season if he can get a good enough chase for the rest of these races. Hiroshi Kazuyoshi and Trevor Germain make up row number 2. Germain looking for win number 2 on the year on what has been a struggling season for Ford. Sky Commons and Amanda Shelley in row 3 with Jake Baskinger and Dylan Thoreau row 4 with Preston Plord, who also is looking to finish 5th in the points in row 5, starting alongside Eric Powers, the Thornton winner. Here's the rest of your starting grid. Max Newworth comes in as the points leader after the reseed at 7,060 points. Paul Swanson with one less win over the course of the season is 15 points back in second. Jay Stella and James Shelley with 2 wins on the year are 30 points back in a tie for third, and the bottom 4 in points with 1 win each to their name, Alex Perkle, Kato Nakagawa, Mason Powers, and Matt Dixon all advanced to the round of 8 looking for a good run. There you see it. Alex Perkle will start from the rear of the field. Here's the command.
Drivers, start your engines.
Command has been given. I just realized it's a full pace lap. Probably should have had a half pace lap. This might take a little bit. Okay, field looks to be rolling. The onboard cameras that we will carry. We will start with the guy who has won 4 times this year, Max Newworth, carrying the Chevy onboard. Paul Swanson will carry the Geico onboard camera. James Shelley's carrying the Arrowhead onboard camera. Alex Perkle, the Toyota onboard camera today. Mason Powers is carrying the Bass Pro Shops onboard. Matt Dixon carrying the Goodwrench onboard. And the only non-chaser carrying an onboard is going to be Alan Cavagnaro in the Ford onboard camera. And the final onboard we will have, in case we need it, the onboard of Jay Stella, who's got the best view in town, looking out the front at just the pace car. Should be one more corner to go. We'll take a short break here and then we'll be back for the start of this race. Field coming through the final corner, and we are set to go racing. 20 laps here at Zen Joltis. A chaser on the front row. There's a chaser on the last row. They're all over the field. 8 trucks, a spot at Homestead or at Talladega for the final race on the line, and we are green for the Canada Rocks 350. Why someone named this race that, I don't know, but hey. And already they're 3 wide. Jay Stella not even going to lead through the first corner. Trevor Germain to the front in the unsponsored Ford. Sam Young and James Shelley already 4 wide at Zen Joltis. They can make it 4. They can make it even 5 wide. They're going to go 5 wide. Max Newworth on the bottom. They're 7 wide already on lap 1. Rubbing doors, that's Paul Swanson, Max Newworth right there. I see about 4 chasers all in one picture. Newworth, Swanson, Shelley, Nakagawa, all in the final 8. Meanwhile, top 3 are single file already, it looks like. Jay Stella only going back to second, now back to the outside as Gardner makes the move. This is where the interesting part is going to be. Can the chasers stay out of trouble? This is basically the wild card round because I believe Velton's Arena for the Truck Series also in this round. Because I don't think we've gone there yet. And anything can and will happen there as Trevor Germain leads lap 1. And looking at the back, let's see, where's Perkle already, well, scored 40th that first lap around. It's not a matter of, the way they're racing, it's not going to be a matter of if trouble arises, but when and where. Mason Powers in the middle of the pack. Max Newirth in the middle of the pack. Paul Swanson still on the second line as we're going to have a new leader here. Sam Young to the front of the field now at Zen Joltis. Just got eliminated from the chase. Now wants a win just for bragging rights. Jonathan Zorline also making a move to the front. Going to lead the pack basically as Sam Young's starting to break away a little bit. That could work. It could be really bad for him too. Sam Young, the only car in this field not in a battle right now. As Mason Powers still 3 wide. Max Newirth is 4 wide right now. Nakagawa makes the move now inside of Mason Powers, at least with where their line went. 5 wide again with chasers around them. Perkle up here, already up to 19th after 2 laps. This is going to be interesting. I'm surprised we've made it 3 laps. As Trevor Germain now breaks away from the field, it looks like. Top 4 single file as Pollard and Commons make a way out of it. Henry Powers now to 5th, I mean. Going to go around the outside of Commons, or at least try to. Germain tried to shut the door on Stephen Paul III, but it didn't quite work. Max Newirth now goes inside Collins. This is dicey right here in this pack. Shelley now to the inside line. As Commons making that outside line work, he's actually gone around the 61 of Trevor Germain. And now into 3rd as Sam Young continues to lead. And now Alex Perkle is going to go for 4th. Was scored 4th at the line, trying to complete the pass on the 61 truck. Commons now to the inside for 2nd. Henry Powers goes to the inside line, follows Perkle. Kato Nakagawa stuck on the outside line as Cavagnar goes way high. Got a little tight or something there. Washer on the extreme outside line as they come off turn number 2. Perkle now going for 3rd. Great start to the race for Alex Perkle. Gets him out of the mess that was back there. And this looks a little bit safer up here in the front right now than the back of that pack looks. Mason Powers on the outside line. Nowhere for him to go if there's a wreck. Perkle now making the move on Commons. Commons decides to try and swing it out wide to try and entice Sam Young to get out there and help him, but Young throws the block on Perkle. Shelley's right in the middle of it. I see the blue truck there. Here comes Henry Powers now looking for 2nd. But Perkle's going to get the run and shuts the door on that 33 truck. Matt Dixon's on the inside line. Remember, if a chaser wins, they punch their ticket to Talladega. where I was an idiot and decided to go ahead and have that be the finale in this format. Could have stuck it at Homestead still, would have been interesting. Matt Dixon outside of Dylan Thoreau looking for his first win. He's actually going to get the spot out of that. Not bad move there by Matt Dixon. Currently last scored in 14th position. Now should be inside the top 10. As Alex Perkle got shoved out wide by Henry Powers. And now Jessica Shelton and Trevor Germain make the move on the 83. And the 83 out in that third line now. Had help from fellow Toyota John Irvin out there. So those two were working well at least a little bit. Everyone moving sideways through the middle of this pack. Dylan Young kind of falling off the tail of it. Maybe doesn't like what he sees. Trying to give himself a little safety cushion to get out of it if there's trouble. Oh, there's trouble! Zorline's around and into the pack they go! Binky Louvier's in it. Kyle Collins is around. Zachary Fitzwater. Looks like Greenwich. Washer. Paul Swanson, I saw the chaser. Swanson is in it. Duncan was in it. Jeff James with damage. Gardner has a ton of damage to the 22 Chevy. And we're under caution here. Watching, make sure that they don't wreck or anything. No plows, hopefully. Looks like Field's getting it sorted out a little bit here. And the pace car will come out and pick up the 84 of Sam Young. So a time to look now. Looks like 45, the 19 with damage. 69's got damage in one of her few shots to actually run well. 48's got damage. The 03 with damage. The big headline of this wreck. Paul Swanson involved. Zorline. Duncan with nose damage. Jay Stella was in the middle of it. The front end looks good. I can't see any damage on the 42 Dodge. Dylan Young looks to be good. Jeff James has damage on the 99 to the rear of that truck. Amanda Shelley got through it. Gardner involved. And with that, let's take a look back at what happened to bring out caution number 1 on the day here at Zen Joltis. Here we are looking at what happened. I saw Zorline was the first truck around. Let's see what happened here to send him down onto the apron. Looks like he's going to try and shut the door on the 88, but Preston Plord on lap number 5 deciding not to let Zorline into line. Yep, that's exactly what happened there. And just kind of gets him down sideways into the grass and right back up into Johnny Gardner. Nowhere to go. Kyle Collins nowhere to go. Jeff James gets collected. Chris Washer. Fitzwater involved. There's Paul Swanson getting involved. Greenwich tried to slow down but just couldn't. William Duncan runs into his own teammate through all the smoke. Probably just couldn't even see him there. And we definitely had some onboards nearby. Let's take a look at Stella, Powers, and Paul Swanson going through this. Starting with the pole sitter, Jay Stella. Mason Powers was right in front of Jay Stella when this happened. Paul Swanson got caught on that second line. Here's his view of the wreck. we are back. 2 casualties during the caution. You see them there. Binky Louvier retiring after damage from the wreck. And problems for the chaser. Matt Dixon loses a camshaft under the caution. He is done for the day in 41st place. And remember, he was already one of those that started off with the bad footing of only 1 win. So he was in the bottom 4 in points. Sam Young is the race leader. Trevor Germain in 2nd. Henry Powers 3rd. Jessica Shelton 4th. Alex Perkle, the top running chaser, in 5th. Chris Louvier, John Irvin, Steve Pollard, James Shelley, another chaser, in 9th. And Stephen Pollard III round out the top 10. Other chasers through the field. Katon Nakagawa in the 14th position. Max Newworth is in 17th. Mason Powers is in 28th. Jay Stella 31st. Paul Swanson in 35th. The question remaining, will he be up to speed? And problems for Kyle Collins. He's lost the motor under the caution. By the way, did not mention this, but I wanted to. Chevy can clinch their 3rd manufacturer's title in a row to start off this series with just a 2nd place finish today. Toyota has to win, or no, never mind, this wrong series. I'll get to that later. I'm jumping the gun. Chevy and Toyota battling for the manufacturer's points. Green flag's back out on lap number 10. I don't even remember what the manufacturer points was for this one. Shoot. That was my fault. Jumping the gun by a series. Either way, Henry Powers made the move to the outside line, didn't get any help, and now Jessica Shelton fills that hole looking for 3rd. How quickly does the back of this field form up, and who's off the pace? Swanson able to pass Duncan, who's got no nose on that car. Looks like Zorline's going to be the farthest off the pace out of them, although he's still somewhat up to speed. Might be Duncan. Random frame drop, I'm sorry. We'll check back in on the drivers off the pace in about a lap. Meanwhile, up front, Powers actually got back to 3rd. As I guess Perkle, I see it here, Perkle went inside of Jessica Shelton there for 4th. And I guess in the 3 wide, Powers was able to get the better run. And now Powers translates that move into a battle for 2nd as they are already 4 wide and including a chaser. James Shelley deciding to fall to the back. As now I think we got the picture of who's going to be off the pace. Sam Young leads at halfway. Collins on pit lane. I guess they're going to try and fix this truck. As these 4 are off the pace. Jeff James, William Duncan, Jonathan Zorlane, Zachary Fitzwater. Tim Grunwich is off the pace. Swanson just going to try and salvage. He's off the pace as well. Gardner, Dylan Young, Chris Washer, and another chaser, Jay Stella, off the pace. 29 trucks up to speed and in the pack. And up front, Henry Powers going around the outside now of Trevor Germain for 2nd. Sam Young just being a master at the draft right now, mastering both lines. Powers isn't going to be able to get there. Germain gets the run through the corner because Sam Young decided to drop down in front of him. Now Young back in front of Powers. But was that a great move? Because looks like, yep, from the helicopter you can see it. Trevor Germain is there. Battle for the lead at Zen Joltis. As I heard scraping. Was someone in the wall? If so, it didn't get picked up. They got out of the wall. At the line. Wow, that was close. By less by probably just under 100th of a second. They gave it to Sam Young. Germain, though, will grab the top spot. To the lead he goes for Ford. Ford and Dodge have had just a miserable year in terms of trying to contend in the manufacturer points because they're so underrepresented in this series. Chevy and Toyota the top dogs, and now another Ford coming up to the front. Alan Cavagnaro into the top 5. Mason Powers, just saw him at the back of the field. Now he's up in the top 10, it looks like, as they are possibly 5 wide at Talladega, just behind Mason Powers. Looks like Preston Plord in the middle. Yeah, he is. Perkle on the far outside of it, though, at the 5 wide. John Irvin's going to make the move for the lead. 4 wide, they can work. 5 wide can work. Just don't rub a fender. Side by side for the lead this time around yet again. Between Germain and Irvin, it'll be Germain leading at the line. And Cavagnaro is going to try and make it a 1-2 for Ford. Germain blocking Irvin, though, a little bit more. Now Germain up to the top to block Sam Young's run off the corner. Cavagnaro trying to hold in tough. They're going to be 4 wide for second. Max Neuwirth, one of the chasers, towards the front. This corner right there that they're just exiting, normally a trouble spot on this track. So far hasn't been today. And Neuwirth is there. Side by side for the lead they go through turn number 3. How they are not rubbing fenders in the middle of this pack where they are 5 wide, I do not know. A little bit of rubbing doors and fenders between the 12 and the 3. Kyle Matthews looks like they're almost 6 wide. That's Shelton inside of the 5. They're making it work. Shelley's down there. Side by side still for the lead at the line. Give it to Max Neuwirth, I believe. They're going to say just barely. Oh, the 67 as well there. Still everyone going the right way. Just going to check. Yeah, 0.02 of a second. The line that last time around. James Shelley's in a hazardous spot. So too is Kato Nakagawa. Valve issues on the 45 of Collins. I really don't like where Shelley's at on the track, if I'm being honest. As Neuwirth and Germain sort it out and go single file for the top 2 spots. Nakagawa gets out of that pack, is now into 3rd. And Nakagawa, who got her win on a road course to make the chase, going for 2nd now. Pointed her way into the top 5, or his way, I don't know. Pointed their way into the top 5. Doesn't want to have to risk it for Talladega. Wants to get the win. Neuwirth leading at Zen Joltis wants to punch his spot to Talladega as well. They're both plate treks. As their 2 chasers are side by side for the top spot. With 6 laps to go at Zen Joltis. 7 not with too much help behind. The 50's got the 61 though. Going to get the run down this straightaway because of the draft. Nakagawa going to be able to jump to the inside and block Baskinger and try and get that push down into the corner. But the push that Neuwirth gets from Germain just that little bit too strong and puts the 50 back out in front. The flagman will have just one hand to the leaders as they come by. Will he also be waving the caution flag is the question I have, though, looking at this field. Nakagawa and Neuwirth clear the field. Nakagawa with a peek. Sam Young to the middle somewhat. I don't know what to really call it. They're side by side for the lead, coming to 5 to go. And a lap car will be an issue, it looks like. Neuwirth leads at the stripe, and Gardner is no more than about a corner away. Sky Commons, Sam Young 4 wide there. No big deal. Nakagawa makes another move. Desperation maybe starting to rise there for driver number 7 as there's 5 to go at Zen Joltis. Gardner's right there, only a straightaway away. Basically. I think he's in the next corner. Nakagawa with help from Sam Young there, still side by side. Are we going to see 4 wide for the top spot at Zen Joltis? Not yet. Neuwirth still with the advantage. Nakagawa is still there. Neuwirth with no one really close to that bumper though. Nakagawa goes up to block the 84. Had the 17 on the bumper. This time looks like they'll be able to make the move though. As Neuwirth now outside of 3 wide. Nakagawa to the lead. Four to go at Zen Joltis now. Sky Commons looking for the lead. Here comes Mason Powers. We're going to throw a third chaser in the mix with a ticket to Talladega on the line. Sky Commons gets out in front of the pack as Neuwirth and Powers battle side by side. Powers has been oh so consistent in this chase. After having such a terrible start, came on strong right at when it mattered most at the end. 3 wide for the lead, and Mason Powers is going to grab the top spot. With Steve Pollard, the fellow Chevy, pushing the 25. In a year dominated again by Chevy, looks like it's going to come down to some Chevy drivers to possibly win Zen Joltis. Will it be a chaser, though, is the question. Will we run green to the end? 3 wide for second. Nakagawa not where they would have wanted to be. Outside, 3 wide as we come towards the end of this race. Powers all alone there. Truck number 3 leads at Zen Joltis. As they start to catch the 22 of Johnny Gardner. 3 to go. Who does the 22 impact when they catch him? 62 and the 6 were rubbing doors as they went off into turn number 1. 25 almost looked to be off the pace compared to the 62 and the 6. Gardner going 177. The leaders 198. He's in the same picture as them now. And he's going to hold up the leaders. Sky Commons is going to get to the lead now through all of this. Sam Young's going to go around the outside. Kyle Matthews is going to go to third. Gardner now to the middle of the pack. Top 4 cleared the lap car with no issues. Looks like actually about the top 5 as Gardner continues to divide the pack. As it's now Sam Young, Kyle Matthews, Sky Commons, Max Neuwirth, the top 4. Here comes Sky Commons looking to the inside, and he's actually going to lose a spot out of this. Next lap truck would be William Duncan. I do not think they will catch him, actually. Nakagawa now rebounding up to third. Thinks they have a run, tries to make the move on the 5 of Kyle Matthews, unable to so far. Now to the inside with 2 to go at Zen Joltis. Mason Powers affected majorly by that lap truck. Now back in 8th, last scored. Nakagawa now to second. Can they make the move on the 84 of Sam Young? When do they make the move on the 84 of Sam Young? Here comes Oriole Pollard looking for 2 in a row. Pollard to second now, as we see 3 of the 4 makes in the top 4 spots. As Trevor Germain now goes to third. The little engine that could there in the unsponsored truck. Looking for win number 2 on the season as well for him. He won at Texas, which was actually Ford's first victory of the season. Can he make it 2 wins on the season for Ford? Sam Young with about a, I don't know, less than a car length, but about a bumper's lead over the 61 in terms of he's clear at least. The battle for third right now between Tom Shelley and Oriole Pollard. The field will see the white flag this time by. Tom Shelley makes the move for second. White flag at Zen Joltis. We'll race it back. Checkers or wreckers here at Zen Joltis. Tom Shelley now to second. Can he get the run on the 84? Nakagawa back in 5th, trying to get back to the inside line. Wasn't able to. Top 2 breaking away. Shelley peeking to the outside. That's not where you want to make the move. Does Shelley have anything for Sam Young? The dominant truck on the day, the Fruity Pebbles Toyota. Shelley makes a move to the outside. Can he make a crossover? Young was able to block it off. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get there. Trying again to the peak to the outside. Get Sam Young off that bottom is what he's trying to do. Through the final corner. And it'll come a race too late for Sam Young, as Sam Young will win the Canada Rocks 350 at Zen Joltis in a dominant effort. And they were about a lap away from catching Tim Greenwich. Top 10 today: Sam Young, Tom Shelley, Dylan Thoreau, Seth Cole, Henry Powers, Trevor Germain, Mason Neal, Katone Nakagawa, Sky Commons, and Alex Perkle. Only 2 of the 8 chasers finishing the day in the top 10. Mason Powers relegated to an 18th place finish after getting held up by the lap truck. Max Newirth down 15th there. James Shelley 22nd. Let's see, that's 5. Where are the other 3? I know Dixon had his issues. I'm trying to figure out where the other ones are. Let's see. Jay Stella 30th. Kyle Matthews back in 29th after he was leading or up in the front. Wow. Was literally second coming to 2 to go. Falls to 29th. As Jeff James ends up going behind the wall just before Greenwich crossed the line. Swanson, 33rd, was the 7th best chaser on the day. And then, of course, Matt Dixon with his issues going to put him behind the 8 ball here already. And it might require a win at some point in this chase for Matt Dixon. But the day would belong to Sam Young, the Fruity Pebbles Toyota. Wins at Zen Joltis, coming just a race too late for the 84 truck to advance to the round of 8 and be in contention. But oh well. I'd like to thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't today. Congrats to Sam Young on winning the Canada Rocks 350. And I'll see you next time.